In 1964, Soviet astronomer Nikolai Kardashev proposed a method of measuring the technological advancement of a civilization on a galactic level. A Type 1 civilization would be able to harness all of the energy of their home planet. Humans aren't even here yet. A Type 2 civilization would be able to utilize all of the energy of their solar system's star. And a Type 3 civilization could harness all of the power of every star in their galaxy. But even Kardashev could have gone bigger. What if we could harness all of the energy of every star in every galaxy in our universe? What if we had the capabilities to create stars and black holes to shape new universes more conducive to life in a kind of guided cosmic natural selection? What if we could warp space and time itself? If it took less than 100 years to go from prancing around on poopy ponies to splitting the atom and landing on the moon, then what if I told you that the rate of technological progress isn't slowing down, it's speeding up exponentially? It took 13 years and $1 billion to sequence the human genome the first time. Now it can be done for $100 in under an hour. And not only that, we can edit it. What if we use that technology to end sickness and aging, expanding not just our lifespans, but our health spans? The supercomputers that we carry around in our pockets are over 1 billion times smarter than the giant machines used to guide the Apollo missions. What if we could seamlessly tap directly into that global knowledge hub with our very minds, augmenting our intelligence and exponentially increasing our cognitive capabilities? Over the next few thousand years, surely we could solve the greatest problems facing our planet. We could colonize other worlds and increase our civilization's odds of surviving a mass extinction event by diversifying our planetary investment. But would that be playing God? There's an ancient Greek myth in which the legendary inventor Daedalus and his son Icarus are trapped on the island of Crete. To escape, the father crafts wings made out of wax to fly home with, but cautions his son to avoid flying too close to the sun, which will melt his wings. Like gods, they fly from the island, but before long, the boy, forgetting his father's warning, becomes intoxicated with his newfound abilities and flies higher and higher until his wings melt and he plunges to his death in the sea below. It's stories like this and religious stories like the Tower of Babel that are used as warnings against hubris, to not play God. Or if you're an atheist, you may have been accused of denying God altogether because you want to be one yourself. Besides the fact that this is a bit of a projection, particularly when coming from someone who believes that their planet is the center of God's affection, they're made in the image of God, and they seek a perfect eternal life, I want to crack this nut open. See, I don't expect to live forever, certainly not as a human at least in the conventional sense of the word, but I also don't take sickness and the ailments of aging for granted. I don't believe agonizing, excruciating suffering is inevitable. I think we can and should push back against the otherwise inevitable extinction of the human race. We can and should adapt. One thing that every animal on Earth has in common is a survival instinct. No one is coming to save us, but that doesn't mean that we can't find a way to save ourselves. Not from imaginary man-made threats of hellfire, but from the very real existential threat of extinction. The moral of the myth of Icarus isn't don't fly. It's don't fly too close to the sun. It's not a caution against ingenuity or greatness, but a caution against arrogance. After all, the father, Daedalus, built wings and flew like the gods, and the father made it home. But while heeding the caution against arrogance, sometimes we do need to fly close to the sun to harness its very energy. But we do so not out of arrogance, but out of necessity. And whether or not we survive depends entirely on how much we invest in our technological capabilities. Are our wings still made of wax? And if not, does that make us gods? If wanting to survive a little longer, to push the boundaries of the possible, to see how far this human experiment can go, if that means we're playing God, then I guess let the games begin. But I don't agree with that premise. I don't think that there's anything arrogant about pushing yourself and those around you to reach your full potential. While properly, ethically handling the advanced technology resulting from progress will prove challenging, far bigger still is the consequence of shaming those who tried to get us there, discouraging them into oblivion, and then rewarding their consequential stagnation with a flattering of the humility you've thrust upon them. We should be desperately pushing for a multiplanetary existence, investing every spare penny in a technological advancement, fighting like a trapped animal for the survival, not just of our own species, but of every living thing on this planet. For the biggest threat to our survival is the celebration of ignorance from the apathetic bystanders with their false humility telling humanity that we came from magical dirt and to dirt we shall return. No, we were forged in the hearts of stars, and that is where we should be reaching.